I'm with Shannon Bales, the Senior Manager of Litigation Support at Munger Tolls. Shannon and I have known each other we've known each other for a number of years, and I just want to say he is really a special guest. He's a 2-time winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award. Number one for ILTA. Was it last year or the year before?
2023.
2023. And this year, the Lifetime Achievement Award here at Legalweek.
Yes.
Shannon, welcome to Careers in the Business of Law, the live from Legalweek edition. It's great to have you, man.
Well, thank you, Dave. The feeling is mutual. I appreciate our relationship that goes back so far and all the great things you do for the industry. I've always had just a tremendous amount of respect for what you do and the way you do it. So thank you.
Thank you. It means a lot to me. I really appreciate that. We've known each other since that first cup of coffee all those years ago on the West Coast. And here we are. It feels like we've come full circle in a way. This does feel a lot like V.2. There's energy, there's enthusiasm. I've said it before in some of the other podcasts that I've done today. The energy here is fantastic, which I'm optimistic about from people's careers. But just if you can, from your point of view, what's different this year? What can you do now? Just like, what can you do that you could not do last year? Be specific. Like, here's the thing that I'm doing now at Munger Tolls. I couldn't have done that last year.
Oh, wow. I think shopping. I am shopping for tools. We have a pretty robust GenAI program, acquisition program, kind of a portfolio approach to seeing which tools work, what's not going to work for us. And, it's been really successful in kind of deciding what the best tools for our organization.
So when you say that, I mean, you work with Megan Brosnahan, who's, I've also known for you. She's fearless. I mean, she is a fearless, fierce, smart, brilliant, savvy risk taker. And does that mean when you say shopping, you're like, you've got a green light, here's the card, you've got a limit, but go invest. Don't spend, but invest.
I would say it's more like fine tuning. So we have that portfolio, and now where are the holes that we could plug with either GenAI tools or even non-GenAI tools. Deposition tools in particular seem to be in a state of flux, right? And
what's an example of that for those that don't really understand the nuance of that?
So the GenAI within deposition tools is fantastic from a variety of providers. But what they haven't carried over is traditional designation and issue coding. And so the challenge is finding a tool where you can both get the benefit of GenAI, but also be able to manually issue code the issues that you want within your transcript and designate those for trial. I think Opus and Evercron are doing a pretty good job of it. I think Thomson Reuters is waiting and seeing how they can integrate it into CoCounsel. So we're seeing some industry upheaval in the traditional order of what tools we use and how we use them.
And have you taken a look at the Steno tool as well?
Yeah, I really love the GenAI tools within Steno. I think it was really fantastic. But again,
it's a horse race now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a horse race to see who can integrate those issue coding abilities into the tools themselves. The other thing kind of, and I haven't specifically, looked at Steno pricing or anything along those lines, but, deposition tools in particular price out by the gigabyte like many tools. And it's really hard to find the value proposition sometimes because you have to load so much video into some of these deposition tools. And so they produce an outsized result on price. And I'm trying to get a better handle on that.
And therein lies the criteria that's so interesting. So with regards to criteria, when you think about what your clients are asking you for today, that they weren't asking you for 12 months ago, what does that conversation sound like when you're in the room?
It's not so much hoops that we have to jump through to get client permission. The clients are now more in tune. We're in a line more often than not with clients on GenAI use. And so that means it's becoming easier for us to implement and integrate into our workflows.
Is that because they're using these tools as well?
Yes, because now they've been educated and they've heard the value proposition and they're wanting to to seek the value and the win in using that kind of tool.
When you think about talent in the marketplace right now, the talent that you hire at Munger Tolls and the talent that you're seeing on the other side, with corporate counsel, what do you notice today?
I think that it's a pretty level playing field in terms of, we always see the wave between certain clients and certain firms and everything else, where people are playing catch up or they're ahead. I like to think of my group as ahead. We have a great eDisco group that's keeping us moving forward. Our litigation support team, legal technology support team is, the challenge is getting everyone up to speed on these new technologies and doing the math of proving that the GenAI worked and that it's accurate and all of that. So still have training challenges, but I'm very certain that we'll get there, and that we'll if not already there, we have, many team members who are.
And you teach as well. Tell us a little bit about your teaching career.
Yes, I teach at UCLA and Santa Ana College.
Yep.
Various legal technology courses. So I've done general
and
legal.
You've been doing that for a number of years.
Yeah, several years. I love it. It's a great way to give back to the community. There is a absolute opportunity for those of you that want to share your knowledge to get involved with schools. On the way out here to Legalweek, I stopped in Oklahoma and took part at the University of Oklahoma Law School AI conference, which had representation from BYU and even horrible, evil University of Texas, and the number of other schools as well. If people are interested, they could reach out to me, and I've been really pleased to see the representation from universities at these conferences, and that they're getting up on the panels and talking about what's going on, and I think that's great.
And that's Shannon Bales, B as in boy, A-L-E-S. You can easily DM him on LinkedIn. I've known Shannon for so many years. He's one of those guys that if you reach out and say, hey, I heard you on this podcast, I'd really like to just introduce myself to you. Can we just have a virtual call and a virtual cup of coffee? Shannon will get back to you within 24 to 48, and he will absolutely be worth the time to exchange ideas.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll just underscore that. I love talking to people. People have mistaken me as a consultant at times that's looking for a buck or something like that. No, I just love to talk through these problems with people. It ends up teaching me as much as, hopefully the information I'm imparting in you. But I learned so much from doing it and taking part. And if you want to talk, let's talk.
Yeah, I feel the same way. The more I give away, the more I actually keep.
You too.
Because it reminds me of the lessons. And I will say, in terms of this, because I had this conversation with Dennis Garcia the other day, your network is your net worth. And so reaching out, and making those connections is important. And you were one of the people early on when I was starting the Cowen group and I was starting Solid. I would call you and I'd say, what do you think of this idea? And you would just say, let me share with you my thoughts on that. And, one of the reasons I'm where I am today is because of the friendship and the advice from you and from others like you. So thank you. So reach out to Shannon or to me and move your network forward.
Yes. Thank you. And love taking part. Thank you.
Can we debunk something?
Sure.
And you can disagree if you want to, but I find the students today that are coming in and coming out to be radically curious, very hungry, out of the box thinkers. No, they're not, like us when we were their age. They're different, but they are wicked smart, wicked curious, and they can do things that we can't do or couldn't do. Can you tell us a little bit of the students that you're teaching? And am I on?
No, you're totally on track.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you a personal example.
Thanks.
So whenever I travel, I like to try and play a trick on my family where I take a picture and then have AI do something crazy like Lady Gaga I met Lady Gaga on the plane or whatever. And I'm able to fool my wife every single time with that. And then she loses her mind. My kids have not been fooled once. Not a single time, because they're clued into that uncanny valley of, that just doesn't look right. And and I'll move that on to law students and paralegal students and others who are very excited about the technology, They're helping to drive it in firms. I would say, and one of the lessons I tried to impart when I was in Oklahoma is that, keep that enthusiasm, go for it, be the promoter of the tools, get people together and share your enthusiasm and what worked for you and everything else. Don't be the heretic that's trying to get some untested, weird solution through the door because you heard your buddy at somewhere else is doing something. So keep that enthusiasm, move technology forward, but stay between InfoGov and info security, right?
Right. And the other thing that I would say that I'll add to that is your immediate response should be yes and,
Yeah.
as opposed to no but. It's
Right.
like there's no money, there's no cheese in no or no but. There's only cheese and forward motion in yes and, which is improv 101. Read a book on improv, which is like yes and keep moving it forward.
Yeah.
Final question, because I know that your time is precious and we're running out of time. If what you're doing now keeps compounding, what does your department look like in 2027?
I'll tell you, I've had sleepless nights where I thought, oh man, the jobs are going to be all gone. What's going to happen? I'm responsible for these people and, doing this fantastic work for the great firm I work with. And you know what? I sleep better now because look, there's going to be efficiencies with AI, but there's also going to be a lot more data coming down. There's going to be a lot of more opportunities and working with that data. I think fact analysis and fact analysis and case analysis are going to finally have their day, and they're going to come out in the sun to be, the skills that they should be. We'll be able to surface facts earlier, and how you do that, what that workflow looks like. That's my challenge now, right? How do I get there? And train people and get people ready. But what does it look like in a couple of years? We're going to have a lot more data. We're going to grow faster. That might mean more people. The department may get bigger for all I know.
I know that I'm gonna riff on that and go, like, I think your department does get bigger. I think there are departments that shrink, but if you're on the bus today, you're on the varsity bus. Like, you want to stay on the varsity bus because there is no JV bus. That's right. If you're on right now, like, you're probably pretty good to go if you're here and you're in it and you're working and you're thinking and you're experimenting. And I have a phrase that I'm playing with right now, which is try more faster. Try more faster. And I said this to somebody the other day, like, is that fair? Is that fair, Shannon, that we have to try more faster?
That ties into that's something that I've heard quite a bit. Velocity.
Yes.
Velocity is changing, and we're going to surface facts earlier. We're going to work faster because we have to, and things are just going to happen because they have to, right?
Well, to me, it's a little bit like middle school, right? When I was in middle school, I tried everything, right? I tried wrestling. I hated it. I tried track. I loved it. I tried swimming. I loved it. I went out for baseball. I went out for basketball. I went out for everything.
Yeah.
And I liked most things. I did not like wrestling. I was never going to do that again. I was never going to dive again. But in middle school, you tried everything. And if you've got kids, right, you sign them up for everything. You're like, I don't know what they're going to like. Like, who knows what they're going to learn? I thought they'd love this, but they wind up like, hey, you ever told them my son was going to row crew? I'd be like, row crew? I don't even know what crew is. What are you talking about? And the kid winds up, being phenomenal at this.
I'm going through the same thing. I have 3 daughters right now.
And what sports do they play? Like, would you have picked the sports?
Not in a million years. Right. Not in a million years. My oldest daughter is a varsity cross country athlete and a track person. My younger daughters like tennis, might get into cross country. They do like rowing and crew. So
did you row with your crew when you? I didn't even know what it was when I was 18. I grew up in Bayside, Queens. We didn't row and crew. I mean,
yeah, they were the guys in the fancy sweater, that's by the boat, right?
I was lucky I had a sweater when I grew up.
Yeah.
I walked to school uphill and down both ways. I mean, to and from, I had to walk uphill.
Yeah. I hear it.
So here we are. Listen, you've been great. You're always so generous with your time. I know you've got a crazy schedule here at Legalweek. Thank you so much. Any last questions for me?
I was going to say the themes that I've heard here that I thought really resonated with me that I need to learn to do either at a higher level or where I'll be focusing on is to be able to delegate, communicate, and translate.
It's so good.
Those are the three things that I came away so far, and it's only day 2, that I think we need to figure out who the right biller is, right, to do this task. Who do we communicate with to get that done so we're efficient for our clients? And how do we translate that so that everyone understands why we're using these tools and what we're doing with them?
The next time I see you in person, I think we'll be perhaps at ILTACon in August, 4 months from now. I suspect that we'll be talking about agents, which we're not talking about here. Here it's still AI. It's still semi-autonomous. I suspect that if you ask for a prediction, it'll be autonomous agents. What are they? How do they work? How do we manage them? How do we orchestrate them? How do we observe them? How do we track them? I think that's how fast all of this is moving. I'm so glad that I'm on the Varsity bus with you. Shannon Bales, thank you so much.
David, thank you so much. I appreciate being here.
If you enjoyed this show, be sure to give us a like and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your shows. And if you want to take your career from now to next, never eat alone.